Hey guys, this is Ruslan and the INFAPORTFINANCE channel. You want to figure out how to properly manage your blood money. Who doesn't dream of wealth? Why can't everyone achieve it? The reason is often due to typical mistakes that seem insignificant. But don't despair, you can get rid of these mistakes. In this video, we'll break down the 15 most common traps. The first and most fatal mistake is not having clear financial goals. Many approach finances with vague desires. I want to be rich. But such formulations do not provide specifics and cannot serve as a guiding star. It's like going around the world without a map and compass. You need to set clear and measurable goals. Specific goals are no longer just dreams, but a plan of action. They will give you an understanding of where to go and what steps to take. It is recommended to use the SMART principle to set effective financial goals. According to this principle, the goals should be specific. Instead of the abstract, I want to be rich, formulate a specific goal. For example, I want to save 5 million rubles for a down payment on a mortgage. Measurable. Determine the exact amount you want to save and the time frame in which you plan to reach that goal. Achievable. Set ambitious but realistic goals, taking into account your current income and expenses. Relevant. Your financial goals should be important to you personally and aligned with your life priorities. Time-bound. Set clear deadlines for each goal. Mismanagement of income and expenses prevents you from getting rich. Many people live from paycheck to paycheck without controlling spending. Imagine a wallet with a hole in it. Money will leak out and you won't accumulate the amount you need. It is important to keep a record of income and expenses. This is the first step to financial well-being. The most effective way to manage your income and expenses is through budgeting. A budget is your financial plan to help you control your cash flow and achieve your goals. Start by recording all of your income. Then make a list of all your expenses. By analyzing your expenses, you will be able to identify areas to cut back on spending. The freed-up funds can be used for financial purposes. Remember that even small changes can lead to significant results. Friends, let's talk about a trap that many people fall into: living in debt. Loans have become an integral part of our lives, but often we don't realize their true cost. We take out a loan for a new phone, for a vacation, for a car, thinking we're about to pay it off. But instead, we get caught in a vicious circle. The interest is growing like yeast, and already a significant portion of income is spent on debt repayment. Instead of saving for the future, we're working for the bank. A lot of people think that loans are normal, but is living from paycheck to paycheck what you want? Of course, there are situations where credit is necessary, but it's important to approach this issue with a cool head. Don't be tempted to buy something you can't afford. It's better to postpone the purchase and save up. The sense of accomplishment of earning your dream yourself is incomparable. Friends, let's talk about how to save and grow your money. Many people keep their savings at home or in a bank deposit, thinking it's safe. But there is an insidious enemy that is stealthily eating away at your savings: inflation. Prices of goods and services go up, and your money depreciates. Imagine, today you can buy a certain amount of products for 10,000 rubles, and a year later for the same amount, it's already less. Your money loses its purchasing power. That's why it's important not just to save, but to invest. Many people are afraid to invest because they don't know much about it. But nowadays, it is not difficult to get the necessary knowledge. There are many books, courses, and online resources on investing. Start with the basics, gradually expanding your knowledge. You don't have to be a financial guru to start investing. There are simple and straightforward tools, such as index funds, that are available to everyone. Start with small amounts to understand how investments work and gradually increase your capital. Remember, investing is a marathon, not a sprint. The key is to start and stay the course. And then you will see your money start working for you, bringing in passive income. Friends, in today's world where finances play a key role, Financial literacy is as important as the ability to read and write. Unfortunately, many people neglect financial education, seeing it as complicated and unnecessary. But it is ignorance of financial laws that leads to mistakes that are too costly. Without understanding how loans work, people fall into debt traps. Not knowing about investment opportunities, they miss the chance to multiply their capital. Financial literacy is not only the knowledge of how to earn money, but also how to save, increase, and spend it wisely. It is the foundation of financial stability and prosperity. It's never too late to start learning about financial matters. There are many sources of information available these days: books, magazines, websites, video tutorials. Choose something that is interesting and understandable to you. Start simple and gradually go deeper into the topic. Remember, investing in knowledge is the most profitable investment. They will pay off 100-fold and pay dividends for the rest of your life. Don't procrastinate. Take the first step toward financial literacy today. Subscribe to my channel so you don't miss new videos on how to manage your finances, invest, and achieve financial independence. Together, we can defeat financial illiteracy. Friends, today we're going to talk about how your environment affects your financial success. Yes, you heard me. This factor plays first fiddle in achieving financial prosperity. Think about who you're spending time with. What are their financial habits? Do they support your aspirations for financial independence? If you're surrounded by people who scam money, there's a good chance you'll adopt their pattern of behavior. You get what you like, you get what you like. Our environment shapes the way we think and live our lives. So, how do you find the right environment that will motivate you to conquer the financial heights? First, pay attention to people who have already achieved what you are striving for. Join themed clubs, forums, social media groups where people with similar financial goals socialize. Communicate with them, learn from their experience, ask questions. Don't hesitate to learn from the best. Second, don't be afraid to weed out toxic people from your environment who are dragging you down. It can be your friends, relatives, co-workers. Yes, sometimes it's like ripping your heart away, but trust me, your financial well-being is worth it. Remember, your environment is your choice, and the choices you make today will determine your financial future. Friends, let's be honest. The road to financial freedom is not strewn with roses. It is a long and sometimes thorny road that requires discipline, persistence, and patience. Unfortunately, many give up before they ever get to the top. They start with fire in their eyes, but when faced with the first difficulties, they give up. Why is this happening? Because they lack discipline. Discipline is what keeps us moving forward, even when we don't feel like it, even when laziness has overcome us, even when everything seems to be against us. Discipline is the foundation upon which success in any area of life is built, and finances are no exception. In addition to discipline, we also need to have patience. After all, financial success is not a 100-meter race, but a marathon. Do not expect quick results. Don't think that if you start investing today, you'll be swimming in luxury tomorrow. It's a long process that takes time and patience. Imagine you've planted a tree. You don't expect it to bear fruit the very next day, do you? You patiently water it, care for it, protect it from pests. And in time, your patience will be rewarded. The tree will lavish you with its fruit. It's the same with finances. Be patient, friends. Don't give up. In the pursuit of financial prosperity, many of us step on the same rake, forget about the most important thing, their health and personal life. We work our asses off, take on impossible burdens, sacrifice sleep and rest. All for what? Money? But think about it, friends. Is money worth sacrificing your health? After all, as they say, you can't buy health. And that's the truth. When we are sick, no amount of money will bring back our joy of life, energy, and strength. Remember that your health is your most valuable asset. Take care of it. So how do you find a work-life balance? How not to burn out on the road to financial freedom? First of all, learn to say no. Don't take on too much. Delegate tasks. Set limits on working hours. Second, take time to rest and recover. Get enough sleep, eat right, exercise, and spend time with loved ones. Third, don't forget about your hobbies and pastimes. Make time for things that bring you joy and pleasure. Remember, life is not just about work. Enjoy every moment. Friends, life is unpredictable. Today you're fine, and then tomorrow, who knows? That's why it's so important to have a financial safety cushion. Imagine a sudden illness, loss of a job, an accident. It can happen to anyone. And then what? Without savings, you risk falling into debt, to take out loans at crazy interest rates. You don't have to wait for the rooster to bite. Start building your financial safety cushion today. So how much do you need to save? The optimal amount of financial cushion is enough to cover your expenses for 3 to 6 months. Of course, it is not an easy task to save such a sum at once. But don't despair. Start small by setting aside 5 to 10% of each income. Automate the process. Set up an automatic transfer of funds to a separate account. That way you're sure you won't accidentally spend that money. Remember, a financial cushion is your protective barrier against life's adversities. Many people underestimate the power of small steps. It seems that refusing a cup of coffee or saving money on fares are small things that are not worth paying attention to. But let's do the math. Let's say you spend 200 rubles a day on takeaway coffee. It's already 6,000 rubles a month, and as much as 72,000 a year. Instead of letting that money go to waste, you could invest it and earn passive income. Remember, even small amounts invested wisely can eventually turn into solid capital. Analyze your expenses. You'd be surprised how much money is wasted on unnecessary little things. Make a budget and identify items that can be cut without sacrificing quality of life. Start saving the money you save. Even 50 or 100 rubles a day is already a step towards financial freedom. Remember, a penny a ruble saves a ruble. Friends, finances and emotions are incompatible. When we make decisions under the influence of fear or euphoria, it rarely ends well. Imagine, you bought a stock at the peak of the price, succumbing to the general frenzy. A week later, the market crashed and you lost all your savings. Sound familiar? Unfortunately, stories like this are not uncommon. To avoid getting caught up in your emotions, you need to learn to control your impulses and make informed decisions. Do a thorough market analysis before investing and research the company you want to invest in. Do not panic. If the market is down, that's no reason to sell everything you've worked hard for. This may be a great opportunity to purchase assets at a reduced price. Diversify your investments. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Allocate capital among different assets to reduce risk. Remember, cold calculation is your main ally on the way to financial success. Friends, let's talk about risks. Many people try to ignore them, pretend that the risks do not exist, closing their eyes, hiding their head in the sand, hoping they'll get away with it. But it won't work that way. After all, risk is an integral part of financial life. Ignoring it is like walking through a minefield blindfolded. It's gonna blow sooner or later. Don't be afraid to take risks, but do it wisely. But there is the other extreme, a panicked fear of any risk. Some people are so afraid of losing their blood money that they keep it under the mattress at home. Of course, it's safer that way. Except that inflation doesn't sleep. As long as money lies dead weight, its purchasing power goes down. Fear of risk can rob you of the opportunity to grow your capital. Investing is as much about risk as it is about opportunity. It is important to find the golden mean, not to rush headlong into the maelstrom, but also not to hide from the world in a corner. Learn to assess risks, manage them, and then they will not pose a serious threat to you. Friends, let's talk about taxes. I know, it's not the most pleasant subject, but turning a blind eye to it is like ignoring a red card from the referee. Taxes are an integral part of financial life. And the more you earn, the more important it is to plan your tax deductions wisely. Do not confuse tax optimization with tax evasion. The first is the legal right of every citizen, and the second is a serious offense that can lead to unpleasant consequences. There are many legal ways to reduce your tax burden. For example, you can open an individual investment account and receive tax deductions, or invest in securities for the long term to take advantage of favorable tax treatment. Friends, today we are going to talk about a very important aspect of investing: diversification. Many novice investors invest all their money in one asset or one industry. This is a huge mistake. Imagine you have invested all your savings in the stock of one company. Suddenly, demand for umbrellas drops and the company's stock drops precipitously. What happens to your investments? They lose value too. That's why it's so important to diversify your investment portfolio. By allocating funds among different assets, you reduce risk and protect capital. There are many diversification strategies, and choosing the best one depends on your investment profile. One of the easiest ways to diversify your portfolio is to invest in index funds. An index fund tracks a specific market index, such as the S&P 500. When you invest in an index fund, you buy a small slice of each company in that index. Another way is to invest in different asset classes. Stocks are riskier, but also potentially more profitable than bonds. By including stocks and bonds in your portfolio, you balance risk and return. Don't forget geographic diversification. Invest not only in Russian assets, but also in foreign assets. This will reduce the risks associated with instability in one country. Friends, let's talk about the importance of long-term financial planning. We often fixate on immediate needs and short-term goals, forgetting what the future holds. We want to buy a new car, go on vacation, to update the closet, and now there's not a penny left from paycheck to paycheck. But what happens when you retire? Will you be able to afford the standard of living you are used to? To ensure a comfortable old age, you need to think about long-term planning of your finances today. Once you've decided on your goals, you can set about developing a plan to achieve them. Break your long-term goals into smaller, achievable milestones. Determine how much you need to set aside each month. Don't forget the importance of regularity. Even small deductions will turn into solid capital over time. Remember the power of compound interest. Friends, we've broken down 15 common mistakes that keep people from getting rich. Remember that the road to financial wellness is a marathon, not a short-distance run. Don't expect instant results. Be prepared for difficulties and don't be afraid to make mistakes. The main thing is to learn from your mistakes. Constantly improve your knowledge in the field of finance and do not stop at what you have achieved. Financial literacy is the key to freedom and independence. Invest in yourself, in your education, in your future, and you are sure to succeed. That concludes our issue today. If this video was helpful, don't forget to give us a like, subscribe to the INFAPORTFINANCE channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Click on the bell to not miss our new releases. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.